Make a matching outfit with me to wear to my sister's Lao wedding. My sister's husband is Lao and my family is Hmong, so she had both a Hmong wedding and a Lao wedding, and the Lao wedding was the big reception. So for that party, I decided to make myself an outfit using this blue Lao fabric that my mom gave me. There's only about 2 yards of this fabric and it's a stripe pattern, so I have to be intentional with my design. Traditionally, this fabric is used to make wrap skirts, but I want to see if I can turn it into a dress. I flipped the fabric upside down and liked how the gold border looked like on top and decided to design a simple princess seam dress. I realized how challenging it would be to directly drape this fabric on my dress form and match up the design. So instead of draping, I found a pattern online that had those same princess seams. With only 1 week to make this dress, this saved me so much time and helped me match the print up and visualize how much fabric I actually have to work with. Whenever I cut the next piece, I just made sure that the top of the pattern was on the same row as the last piece and lined up the stripe print to match the grain line as well. I originally wanted to make a dress, so I just extended the length to the very bottom of the fabric when cutting each piece out. I still have the gold border to use up and was thinking of adding it to the bottom of the dress, but we'll see how I feel once the dress is constructed. I cut out all the same pieces from my lining fabric and then interfaced my outer dress for more structure. And I also interfaced the top of the lining because I'm going to be sewing boning to it. Now that the longest part is over and all my pieces are prepped, it's time to sew all the pieces together. My sewing machine is a Bernat B79 Yaya Han edition, and I love that it has this built-in walking foot, which is the black attachment you see behind my presser foot. I like using walking foots whenever I'm sewing challenging materials or thick layers to make sure everything stays in place. This is what it looks like so far. I just have to make some alterations to fit me better. After finalizing the fit, I serged all the seams because this fabric frays a lot. With what's left of the fabric, I decided to trim the very bottom to use the gold border as the hem, and we'll be using the section above it to create the straps for the dress. I interfaced the straps and then sewed the open side closed and turned it inside out, which was oddly satisfying. Press the straps so that they lay flat, and now we can move on to sewing the boning into the lining. I'm using Rigoline boning, which can be sewn directly into the seams. Just make sure that it's not protruding into the seam allowance along the neckline because we still need to sew the 2 layers of the dress together. Next, I added the straps to the dress, which always takes a while because I have to make sure it's in the right place and that it fits properly, but once it is, I base stitch it down before sewing the dress layers together along the top. After sewing the top neckline, you can understitch the lining down, but before understitching, make sure the straps are where you want them. Even though I checked so many times, I feel like my straps didn't look the way I wanted to in the end. But since I already understitched, I did not want to redo it because I had no time left. When it's a family wedding, you forget about all the family activities that happen in between as well. So while working on my outfits, I was also spending time with my family from out of town. Now I can sew an invisible zipper to the center back of the dress, but only to the outer layer first. Once the zipper is sewn down, I can flip the lining sides right sides together, sandwiching the zipper in the middle, and sew the lining to the zipper tape. This is when I decided I no longer wanted it to be a dress, so I cut it shorter to be a top. The length was just a little too awkward for me. It wasn't long enough to look right with my height, and I didn't want to wear anything too short to a wedding, so I just decided on a top. I finished the hem by pressing under the raw edges and then hand sewed the lining down to it. Another reason I decided to go with a bodice design instead of a dress is because I tried on some flared pants underneath and loved the look and idea of a matching pants set. So using the gold border that I cut away earlier, I finished the raw edges of it and sewed it to the bottom of the pants to tie it all together. And here is the final look at my sister's wedding. Even though it wasn't my wedding, making a last-minute outfit to wear was still so stressful, and I need to stop doing this to myself. I threw on a gold Lao belt later to complete the look, but I actually think I prefer it without the belt. What do you think?
I got this belt from Miss Elena. Does it complete my look or no?
I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!